Hello everyone and welcome to KAMILIA'S kitchen. أهلا وسهلا. Today I'm making اوزي in a couple of different ways. So I got a leg of lamb and I trimmed it from the fat. I took most of the fat out and cut it into small pieces, about maybe a cubic inch each cube, and I'm going to cook that in clarified butter. So I put the clarified butter in a pot and melted it, then added the meat, and I kept mixing that until it becomes little watery, so it will have some liquid on it. I keep mixing and stirring and until the water dries out. Here I have my seasonings. I got the ouzi seasonings and the 7 spices mix: salt, nutmeg, cinnamon, black pepper, and cardamom,
about half a teaspoon,
and
about a
salt. I think I mentioned salt. And so those are the seasoning I'm going to use for everything. So I use it for the meat while I cook the meat, and then I will use the same seasonings for the rice as well as the vegetables. So it looks like the liquid has dried out, and I'm just gonna add the seasonings to it and let it sit for until I get other things ready. So I'm using fresh carrots. I know you can buy the frozen carrots and peas mixed together, which is easier, but I didn't have the frozen bags, so I just used frozen peas and chopped the carrots very small. I used a quarter of a head of onion to saute before I cook the carrots. And so after I cooked the carrots, which takes a little longer to cook than the peas, I added the carrots, then waited for about 5 minutes, then added the peas. So here I cook the carrots, and then after I add the peas, I will add the seasonings, and it will be done. So I let it sit. So now I have the meat ready, I have the vegetables ready, and I will cook the rice. I use basmati rice. I'm using 3 cups of rice. I just soaked it in cold water and drained it, soaked it for about 15 minutes, then drained it, washed it with cold water, and cooked it with chicken broth. So, and I added the same seasonings. Here I'm adding the seasonings to the vegetables, and that will be ready. So you really need to mix, every minute or so. So I'm adding the salt as well. Beautiful colors so far. So in the meantime, I'm cleaning. I washed the pumpkin and I cleaned it, took all the seeds out, cleaned it really good, washed it and dried it. And so it's ready to stuff with the rice, meat, and vegetables. Now the rice is cooking, almost done. So now I'm getting my pumpkin ready to stuff. I have the oven heated to 400 degrees. I made this dressing to brush the pumpkin from the inside and out. I used honey and vegetable oil, and a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon. And it's just like a glaze that it's gonna make the pumpkin more flavorful and shiny after it's baked. So after brushing it all, I'm gonna start layering the rice, meat, and vegetables there to fill out the pumpkin. So I put rice in the beginning, and now I'm putting meat. And then I will add the vegetables. And I will top it with more rice and then close it. So again, I said the oven is heated to 400 degrees. So I'm gonna wrap this pumpkin with parchment paper and foil, and then add a little bit of water to the pan and bake it in the oven for at least 2 hours. I think I baked it for about 2.5 hours because the pumpkin takes quite a bit to cook and everything inside is already cooked. So now another way of making ouzi that I remember from long time ago is to have that rice, meat, and vegetables stuffed in either a phyllo dough or a pastry dough. So I used the pastry dough here. I took each sheet and I rolled it so it can be thinner. I cut the sheet into 4 pieces and I put each piece in a bowl. So I just chose a bowl that fits. And so I would put the pastry in the bottom of the bowl, and I add about 3 tablespoons or so to fill it up and close it on one side, and then flip it into a pan that I will bake later. So here I'm just wrapping the rice, meat, and vegetables that I cooked into a bowl and just stacking them so I can brush them with butter. I will brush them with butter, clarified butter, and then bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees until they become golden brown. Those are best to eat with yogurt or salad. So I served with yogurt and salad for today's dinner. So as you see, I take each square, put it in the bowl. It's not showing enough, but I'm sure you get the point. You can see better here, I think. After you fold it, flip it over, and it goes on the pan. Really fun to make and tasty with some yogurt. It's really good. There we go. I'm sorry, I apologize if this part of the video is long. So I used 2 sheets of the puff pastry, and I made 8 of them. 8 stuffed balls of the Ozi, and as you can see, I brushed it with clarified butter. That's how they look before baking. And this is how they look after baking. Golden brown, really good. And when you cut it, looks like that. Just delicious. And now the pumpkin, I served it on the rice and cut it like that. Became like a flower. And it's really good. I hope you enjoy it. صحتين وعافية.